an icon, she's a legend, and she is the moment. Now come on now.
Welcome to another episode of Never Date Just One Sis. I am your host, Arthur China T, Coach Erica, and we're going to learn how to roster date properly if it's the last thing we do. This is a channel where we learn that at. Even if you're still magically still trying to date one person, I'm going to teach you how to properly date so that you can get the results that you're looking for. But it's a lot of things that need to happen before you jump out there to date. And the very first thing is healing, something that a lot of y'all fail to do because you don't think that you have to. And you keep thinking that someone's going to love you past your pain. Well, that's where you're going wrong. And that's why you're going to still be in the same boat a year from now, 2 years from now, 5 years from now. And what boat is that? The single boat, where no man takes you serious because you yourself don't even take yourself serious. The reason why this episode is here, this is the only full episode that you're going to get this week while I am out of the country. Because something just not too long ago just happened, and I wanted to reflect on it in a full episode versus giving you a short video with a message. Because we got to get some things straight. So it's like some of y'all energy is completely, totally off. It is bad energy. It is negative energy, and it stems from negative thinking, and all of that comes from negative experiences. And I need you to understand, you won't be the first and you won't be the last that was played by a man. You won't be the first and you won't be the last that a man lied to about loving. You won't be the first and you won't be the last of somebody who feeling used because you did too much for that man who you knew did not want you. It was very evident. None of his actions or words could have possibly made you believe that this man wanted you. But for some reason, you think that you're singled out on earth and you're the only person this happened to, when again, you won't be the first and you won't be the last. It has happened to the best of us. Let's talk about this bad energy that is surrounding y'all love life, your normal life, your relationships with yourself, your relationships with your families, and the lack of relationships that you've had with the men that you feel like you deserve. For one, I keep telling y'all about this type. You go after your type, you are not their type. So you get used, you feel consumed, you feel depleted. That's because the bad energy that's around you stems from trauma, negative self-perceptions, and toxic environments. And it definitely affects your dating life moving forward because a lot of y'all just refuse to heal. You just keep scooting up under the next man. And I just saw Dr. Cheyenne said today her daddy taught her the best way to get over one man is to get under another man. While that may be so, because all you finna do is get some dick, I'm just gonna be honest, ain't nothing gonna change. You're gonna still attract another man with a different name and a different face and a different address. You're gonna get up under, he gonna do to you exactly what the first man did, because a change needs to happen within you. That bad energy can show up in a few different ways that impact your roster dating, because you're not gonna be able to take that energy until meeting these different men thinking that somebody finna deal with that longer than they should, or to place value on you, because it's going to be evident that you need to release some things. This bad energy I keep telling y'all about can show up in a few different ways and impact any type of form of any type of roster that you're trying to build, because you're going to further complicate men and yourself. And for somebody trying to date multiple people without serious commitment, you definitely need to confront these issues head on before you get out there. Bad energy affects you while you're trying to roster date. First and foremost, unhealed trauma and emotional baggage that y'all keep putting along with you. Remember Erykah Badu song, Bag Lady? That's what you are. That's what you become, sis. You the bag lady. You keep bringing all that unhealed trauma and all that emotional baggage with you, and now you are trying to apply it to roster dating. And again, in hopes that somebody will see you and say, oh gosh, you've been hurt. Let me love you past your pain. When what they really saying is, oh gosh, another victim. Let me jump in and do exactly what the last man did to her because she's not healing and she doesn't feel worthy. Your past heartbreak, childhood trauma, or negative experiences in your previous relationships can create emotional walls that's hard to trust others and trust your own judgment because you be so mad at yourself for making the choices and the men that you made that now you don't even trust your own judgment. So now it's affecting all the relationships in your life, family, friends, co-workers. It all trickles down. This can lead to you to self-sabotage, choosing partners, you hear what I'm saying, for your roster that reinforce these negative beliefs or subconsciously avoiding vulnerability altogether. So you keep trying to figure out why you keep attracting a man that's on the same emotional vibration as you. He keeps making you believe that everything you're saying about these relationships and these co-workers and all that stuff, that it's their fault. Never is he gonna make you know that it's your fault. Why? Because he too is dealing with unhealed baggage. So y'all come together dragging y'all baggage along. But the only difference between you and him is he is going further. He's trying to heal himself. And in everything you try to pour into him, he is going to heal himself because you don't know how to pour back into you. You're still pouring into men. So he's going to allow you to pour into him. He's going to heal himself and build himself. And when he is tired of carrying that baggage, and you included, he's going to leave it behind with you, and he's going to move on with his life with a whole nother woman who doesn't operate in a manner that you do. Your low self-esteem. The bad energy often manifests in a lack of self-worth because now you don't even believe in yourself. And you know you don't based on the type of people you keep attracting. Women who struggle with self-esteem issues may feel undeserving of love and care, which keeps leading you to the same man with a different name and a different face and a different address. You don't even think that you're worthy enough to have somebody who takes you serious. Now you're doubting yourself. Now you're feeling inadequate. And this can make any man hesitant to commit to you. I don't care where he meets you at. I don't care how good you look. All it takes is a couple of conversations for him to see that, oh my God, this is a train wreck. But before he get on there and crash and burn with you, he's going to jump ship. Maybe after he sleeps with you. Maybe after you give him what he wants. As soon as it's over, he's going to jump ship. The only man that's gonna stick around is the one who has low self-worth. He may not jump ship, but again, I told you he's gonna stick around long enough to have you pour into him so that he can rebuild who he is in his own image and his own ego, and then still get out of there. Toxic mindset or pessimism. Whew. A negative or cynical attitude about love can create barriers. If a woman believes that all men are the same, because you keep attracting the same man with a different name and a different face and a different address. So now in your head, all men are the same. Only because you've just been in the presence of men whose vibrations are low just like yours and have no intentions on helping you raise that vibration because he is trying to heal himself to get the hell from around you. You may be less inclined to take risk in dating, even if there are good prospects. You're going to run them away. You'll meet some great people, but because they're boring or they're not talking how you used to talk, you will do in self-sabotage and get them out. They will get up out of there quicker than you know it because you ran them away. This type of mindset can contribute to staying single for longer periods. Therefore, nobody on your roster or empty dates that's leading to you being love bombed because it's going to be easy to love bomb you. You're going to be wearing that desperation all over you. Of course, somebody with low vibrations is going to pick up on that. And then what they're going to do is rush in to make sure they can use you for whatever they can use you for just to get out of there to the person they want to go to. The fear of vulnerability. Bad energy can make people wary of being vulnerable. If someone has been hurt in the past, as many of you have, you may fear opening up once again. This affects your ability to develop meaningful connections. Remember, you're trying to attract the right energy to you from your roster. But if you have a blockage because you have a fear of vulnerability, I told you to love is to hurt. You have a fear of being hurt again. Of course, you're not going to attract anybody that's trying to come in and love you. Because if you don't understand that you have to be vulnerable, if you don't understand that to love is to hurt, you're going to consistently keep getting the same results. Nothing. This can manifest in roster dating as they keep things surface level with multiple partners to avoid the emotional risk of commitment. This is why I told y'all to figure out if y'all want to have fun, you want it to be serious, or you want it to be beneficial. Because you are so blocked off emotionally and scared to be vulnerable again, You just want to have fun. That's what you made yourself believe until you find yourself in a sack with a man for 6 months and now you start liking him, but now he doesn't like you at all because he just really wanted to have fun with you. Your emotions change and you want something serious. He never wanted nothing serious with you because he knows he's seen you at your worst. So he does not want to pick you up and pour into you. He wants you to pour into him so he can get the hell up out of there when you do. Your inability to recognize healthy relationship. A woman who carries around bad energy may have a skewed perception of what a healthy relationship looks like. You will attract and settle for partners who don't meet your needs. And you won't recognize the red flags in these partners because you're so desperate to have somebody because your pain is overriding anything else. You're not happy within and you're scared to be vulnerable because you're scared to be hurt again. This leads to unhealthy dating dynamics, remaining single longer than you want to be because you still feel unworthy of a truly fulfilling relationship. Because you don't feel like you can have one, you're not going to be able to attract one. I've said time and time again, in order to change your reality, you have to first heal, manifest, and then live as such. But you all don't do that. You won't heal. And your manifestation, you're not even doing correctly because you're still praying. And nothing is coming together because you're still in the wrong mindset. Now, let me tell you how all this affects roster dating. You will have a lack of genuine connections. Roster dating involves juggling multiple people without the expectation of commitment, all right? If the bad energy is present on you and around you, it can prevent genuine emotional connections from forming. You will still be in your bad habits that have not died yet. You will be still doing the same things. Why? Because that's all you know. And because you refuse to do anything different, you're going to still keep getting the same results, even with your roster. You're going to still have the same men on your roster that you so-called trying to run away from because you won't understand that the men that hurt you will hurt themselves. All you need to do is take 31 days of your life, sit down and heal whatever that is that you keep running from so that you can be a better version of yourself. But you don't want to take a month. You think you got to get right out. You got to get out there. You think you're worthy of being dated right now, and you're not. Then there's the emotional fatigue. Juggling multiple people can be emotionally draining. That's because you still put all your eggs in the baskets of these men, giving out emotions when I have asked you time and again to keep your emotions at bay. They should not even be on the table, let alone even a topic right now. You don't even know if these are the best men for you. They're not fulfilling your needs. You just have an emotional pull to somebody because that's just what you're used to. If you're carrying negative energy, keeping up with multiple relationships can become exhausting and unsatisfying, leading to burnout or frustration and leading to you choosing the wrong man on your roster that's going to give you the same results that you're running from. Attracting negative dynamics. Sometimes when someone is in a negative space, as a lot of you in your mind is because you refuse to heal, you continue to attract partners that mirror the same negativity. This could lead to cycles of unhealthy and unsatisfying interactions. Needs are unmet. Energy is being perpetuated across the board and is still bad. In roster dating, this is going to manifest in attracting incompatible partners or maintaining relationships that add value to your life. It's going to be the same men, I keep telling you. Because who is going to come into your world and want to love you past that pain? Not a healed man. But a broken man gonna put on the show. That's why you always get love bombed. Difficulty choosing partners. Bad energy that make it harder to evaluate potential partners objectively. You're supposed to be looking for the best option for you. But because your energy is so bad and your options are no better, you always end up choosing the wrong one. Back at square one. If a woman is emotionally clouded, as many of you are, you may stay in relationships or situationships that don't serve your best interests. You might also struggle with setting boundaries. That's why you always give into sex so soon. That's why you always inviting men into your space. Those are old habits you won't let down hard. You don't have any boundaries. So of course, you're going to still be doing the same things, overcommitting, doing too much, or failing to recognize when somebody just don't want you in their life and they're a poor fit for your life. Now, how do you address this? First, it's going to cause for self-evaluation, self-reflection, and healing. I keep telling y'all that. That's the first part of Never Date Just One. You got to do some healing and some self-evaluations. It's important for you to take this time to heal from past trauma, the sexual trauma, and the relationship traumas, okay? Whether through therapy, with me being your coach, your personal coach, and it doesn't come cheap, or with personal reflection, when you got to sit down and reflect on everything. Give yourself an apology and then accept your apology, something you still have not done. Next, you got to set boundaries. I keep going back to this. With your boundaries comes your standards, your expectations. So whether you're roster dating, when you're roster dating, you got to set clear boundaries. When you are roster dating, setting clear boundaries is essential. This can prevent emotional burnout and ensure that the connections that you have are aligned with your needs and the values that you're looking for. Then you got to focus on your self-worth. Y'all got to go to that mirror like I told y'all, and y'all have to re-fall in love with yourself. You have to improve your self-esteem, because if you keep going like this and dating, you're going to consistently attract partners who have low self-esteem as well. Women who believe in their value are more likely to make choices that reflect their worth. So if you increase your self-worth, increase your self-value, of course you're not going to make those bad decisions with those negative men anymore. But until you do that, you're going to keep attracting the same energy, because it is impossible for another energy to come in and see your worth with all of this exuding off of you. And then it's a gradual process, okay? If you're dealing with bad energy, it's helpful to ease back into dating without pressure. Stop making men the center of your life. Like you have to get out there, you have to do this. Or no, never mind, I have to be single. You got to recenter your thoughts. Because if you keep coming with that energy and the way you're thinking, that's exactly what's going to permeate in your life. I told you, anything you focus on more than 3 minutes becomes your reality. Think of yourself as a goddess of the earth in all forms. Believe it. Move like that. Live like that. And I guarantee the type of men that you keep attracting will no longer be attracted to you, because your vibrations won't be as low. You got to heal though. You got to self-reflect and self-evaluate. You got to relationship evaluate. You got to get back into your feminine energy. You're still in the masculine space by thinking so negative. Bad energy can definitely contribute to staying single and struggling with roster dating, okay? But through introspection, healing, and setting healthy boundaries with some standards, it's possible to break out of these cycles and attract more positive and fulfilling partners for your roster that is going to be able to get you to your ultimate goal. The best man for you, whether in a long-term committed relationship or marriage. Now, when you continue to make men the central focus of your life, I'm talking about everything you think, well, I'm finna go get this surgery because I can't wait to get a man. Wrong. I'm finna go get this great job and go buy this great car because I want to attract a man. Wrong. When you keep doing things that center around men, it creates a toxic dynamic that prevents the right man from being attracted to you, because you don't care what man is attracted to you. That's the energy you're giving off. Instead of you wanting to attract the best man for you and your needs, you just want to attract any man. And that's just what's happening. Vibrations are still low. This ties directly to this concept of bad energy, because it shifts the focus from self-awareness and self-respect to reactive external approach to dating. This is how that's going to play out. Neglecting self-worth and personal growth, what a lot of y'all do. If a woman consistently revolves her life around men, she may overlook the importance of self-care, personal growth, and emotional healing, which is happening more times than not. Unresolved past trauma or low self-esteem, I'm going to keep going back to that, can create emotional baggage, bag lady, that nobody wants to take on with you. They don't want to take you and your baggage. They probably just want to take you. But in order to get you, they got to go through too much. That's why you got to get the men that got baggage too. So y'all both can be dragging around baggage. And again, you can pour into him. He can get over this hump and get over you. When you don't invest in yourself or your well-being, it will make it difficult for you to recognize or attract the right kind of partner. I'm going to keep saying that. Men can sense when someone isn't truly fulfilled or secure within themselves, and therefore they use it to their advantage. It's like they got antennas. It's like dogs. They know. It's evident. It's all over you. It's protruding off you. Why would he move any further with you on a serious tip when he know that in about a year or so you about to go back into this depressive state? You know how many men right now are complaining about the wives they're married to and the fact that these ladies claim to be so depressed? They're trying to run up out of there. They looking for the next best thing popping. And usually that be the younger little girls, where y'all always say, why do older men want the little girls? Because the older men know the little girls don't have that much emotional baggage as of yet. Versus someone over 30. She's been through several relationships or situationships, been a sneaky link or a cut buddy or a side chick. She having too much emotional baggage. It's evident in the way that she's still choosing and going out places looking for men. It exudes off her. You wonder why he finna pick up on that and use to his advantage? Because it's clear that that's what you want. You haven't healed. You're still seeking a validation from external sources. When you place too much importance on trying to get a man and seeking constant validation from them, I keep telling y'all to stop doing that. It can create an unhealthy dependency. We talked about that in an early episode. Nobody wants to be responsible for your emotions. Those are your emotions. Nobody wants to be responsible for. So there is this unhealthy dependency. It leads to clinginess, desperation, needing external approval to feel value. You always got to have him to be around you because you don't know how to be by yourself. Unhealthy dynamic that no man wants to be a part of. Not one that's healed. Not one that's in his right mind. Not one that got things going for him. Absolutely not. When he can move around you and go to your younger counterpart, 18, 19, 20, who is not there yet, who still exudes fun, who's still going to have sex with him as often as he wants to. Because when you get into your moods and you're depressed and you're upset, you don't want to have sex. And that could last for months and years. But you want that man to hold on and then you expect him not to cheat. Don't make no sense. Men are typically drawn to women who have a strong sense of self. And when a woman becomes overly focused on pleasing men, or making them the center of her life, it can create an imbalance in the dynamic, leading that relationship to feeling one-sided and unfulfilling. That's what it's going to feel like on your roster. The inability to recognize or address your own toxic behavior. Oh my God. You focus too much on men. That can blind your own self from your negative traits, whether it's being overly controlling, neglectful, passive-aggressive, or dismissive to others. You don't even see how you treat other people. In the pursuit of you trying to get a man, you treat other people bad. That's why you keep attracting the very men that treat you the same way. If a woman consistently enters a selfish space, not self-preservation, a selfish space, then she will consistently treat people, including men, poorly in her life because she doesn't know any better. She's going to think she's self-preserving. Absolutely not. That's not self-preservation. That's just you being selfish and hurt because you don't want to deal with the fact that you need to heal. You will unknowingly push men away, especially on your roster. They may be a good match for you, but they do not want to go through that. They do not want to be responsible for your emotions. They do not like to look at and help you recognize toxic behaviors because you're too grown. You should be able to recognize that yourself. Then the imbalanced relationships. If the primary goal of yours, people pleaser, is to please men to secure their attention, you're going to end up in relationships where the dynamic is out of balance. Why? Because you're still centering everything around a man and not you. Here you are back here. Here he is up here. Of course he's going to use that to his advantage. You don't put yourself first, so he's not going to do it either. The imbalance can create resentment over time, and the wrong men are often attracted to this kind of behavior. Those people you're trying to run away from, they love it because they know they're going to use it to their advantage and get everything they need to get out of you. All of their needs met while fulfilling none of your needs, but going to drag you from here to hell and go and enjoy the ride. The right men who seek mutual respect and emotional equality will likely feel uncomfortable or disinterested in you as a person. Why? Because you're imbalanced. And again, he is not coming in to balance you out. You have to already be that, ma'am. He's going to come in about here. You're down here. We want to balance this out. But because you are so happy and content with being down here, while he's steadily growing, he's going to leave you down there. He has no time to balance that out. He wants you to balance yourself. But down there, it's some guys down there that's been waiting for you like rabid dogs. Oh, yeah. They waiting for you to come on right on back to them because they know you weren't going nowhere. You weren't going to stay long because they knew them other men weren't going to want you. They're finna continue to run amok on you. Reinforcing negative patterns and attracting the wrong men. The more a woman's life revolves around men and how she can get their attention, the more likely she is to reinforce unhealthy dating patterns. If she doesn't acknowledge or correct how she treats others, I'm talking about it is evident. I told you men can learn a lot in how you treat yourself, how you treat others, and how you treat them. They're going to learn so much just from that right there. Okay? So if you don't acknowledge or correct how you treat other people, you can attract men who mirror the same behaviors. They're going to come in, talk to you any kind of way, treat you any kind of way because that's just where you're at in your life because you won't recognize that you need to change that. Even I had to recognize that. When I used to curse people out or treat them any kind of way like I ain't need people, I attracted the very men that use that to their advantage. This creates a cycle where unhealthy, non-committed, or emotionally unavailable men are drawn to you because you are emotionally unavailable as well. You just don't realize it. The men who would be a better fit, who are emotionally mature, respectful, and seeking something genuine, they stay away from you. It's like a big X on you. You as soon as they see you coming, they go the other way. It's evident. I told you, men pick up on things just like animals do. And your low self-esteem, your low self-worth, and your controlling behavior, and your over compulsive, and you always need attention, that is going to be easy to pick up on. They're going to see that just by how much you start texting them back. When I told y'all to get out those texting conversations, I told y'all to get off those phones. They're going to see exactly all of that because you keep texting. You respond to every text he sent right away. And you text, and you talk, and you do a lot of that, but you don't date. So they know how they can get you caught up in a text, in an emotional trap, just to sleep with you, just to move on. We already had the email of that same thing happen to the woman. In the context of roster dating, a woman who has an approach that may engage with multiple men, but each interaction may be shallow or rooted in an attempt to gain validation, because you need attention so bad, rather than a genuine connection. When you're dating from a place of insecurity or need to prove yourself to someone, you're not connecting with others on a meaningful level. It's impossible. You're still trying to prove it to you. Men who sense that you're truly not being authentic or that you're looking to fill a void in your life rather than connecting with the right reasons, they're going to lose interest fast. Those are the ones that are going to fall off your roster because they don't have time to build you up, build yourself. And the right men are drawn to self-sufficiency. They like the man that you need, the one that's going to make your life better, make it easier, take you to the next level. They are drawn to self-sufficiency. But it doesn't seem as if you're that, okay? Because you're emotionally immature. You're still dependent on others to make you happy. Happiness is not within. So the men who are emotionally mature and interested in long-term connections tend to be drawn to women who are whole in themselves, who have their own lives, their own interests, and their sense of identity. They are not going to wrap their life around. They meet John today, and John's like a good catch. Over the next few weeks, everything that you think about and plan is with John. John does not want that. He does not want you to center his life around you. Instead, he will respect you more if he knows there are other options, because he knows that at least you are 100% sure in who you are as a woman, and not just any other options, better options. But if it's just John, he's your only option, he can tell you're not self-sufficient. You stop having your own life. You don't do the things that you used to do. You don't hang with your homegirls no more. You don't do none of those things that you did before John came along. Because now you're relying on John for happiness. You're relying on John for plans. John does not want that. It is too soon. He is just dating you. You have taken to another level like he is your husband. And therefore, because you're moving so fast trying to secure that, John is going to get up out of there. That's too much for him. A woman who focuses exclusively on a man and fail to recognize how her own behavior and bad energy might be pushing him away, risks creating a relationship dynamic that attracts the wrong type of men and deters the right ones. Self-awareness, self-respect, treating others with kindness are the balance that you need to attract the right partner for you. If you cannot do that, get out of here now. Get off this channel. Go pick up 31 Days of Internal Satisfaction and start from day one and sit into that until you can apologize to yourself and accept that apology. You are not ready to be trying to date multiple people, let alone date one person. Your dynamic is going to keep everything unbalanced. And the only thing that you about to attract right now is a man that want to come over and chill and hunt you right now. Keep you for the next 6 months to keep hunting you because he don't got nobody else to hunt until he find his person. You are not her. By taking the time to cultivate a healthy sense of yourself, addressing your negative patterns, and being emotionally available without losing your sense of independence, the right man will likely be drawn to you. So I encourage you, sis. If you are not ready to attract the right man because you are not the right woman, then you do not need to be here right now. I need you to stop. I read y'all comments. A lot of y'all not ready. Y'all still attracted to the types that don't like y'all. It's strange. Y'all still checking on the men that are not checking for you. It's very strange. You're still attracted to the men who don't fulfill your needs. Even stranger. You're still having sex with those who do nothing for you. Completely strange. Because you're just not ready. You don't even know who you are. You're not even sure in who you are or your worth or your value anymore. And your self-love is down in the dumps. So why do you think that you're going to attract a man that's well put together when you yourself are in pieces? Put yourself back together first. You need to weld yourself back together. The pieces that mean the most and the pieces that you can do nothing with, leave them behind. Because every time that you want to become a new person, the old version of you has to die. So you should have had several funerals by now of your old version. If you are unable to do that, then you are unable to roster date to be able to attract the best man for you. Stay tuned for another episode of Never Date Just One. I'll see y'all when I get back.